So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Engwe Y600 electric scooter, which is Engwe's long-range commuting scooter model. Engwe is an electric mobility company that specializes in the design and production of electric bicycles and electric scooters. Engwe does make a couple electric scooter models, with the Y600 being their most affordable model. So in this video, I'm going to go over the assembly process, go in depth on the features and specs, do an acceleration test, a braking test, and a review on how it rides. So let's get to it. After opening, the scooter is fully assembled, which is pretty rare for scooters at this price point. All you have to do is remove all the packing foam and zip ties, unfold the handlebars, and tighten the brake levers and throttle, including the box with the necessary tools and instruction manual. The whole process only took me about 5 to 10 minutes, with most of my time being spent on cutting off the zip ties. By far, this is the easiest scooter they've ever put together, so you should have no problem putting it together yourself, regardless of mechanical skill level. And when I went through the scooter, all the bolts were tight, all the welds were nice, the brakes felt good, and it powered up no problem. And the Y600 comes with a factory seat installed, but if you wish to remove, all you have to do is remove the 2 connecting bolts to the rear suspension and 4 bolts that attaches the seat to the deck. Then take the footrest, reinstall the 6 bolts mentioned, and the whole process wasn't too bad, only taking me about 10 minutes. So the Y600 is powered by a 600 watt rear hub motor that provides 28 newton meters of torque with a peak output of 830 watts. And there's 3 speed settings. 1, which has a top speed of about 10 miles per hour, 2, which has a top speed of about 20 miles per hour, and 3, which has a top speed of 28 miles an hour. The battery is a 48 volt, 18.2 amp hour lithium ion battery that has a claimed range up to 43.5 miles in a single charge. It's also IPX waterproof rated. It has short circuit protection, overcurrent protection, overcharge protection, over temperature protection, and under voltage protection. The Y600 comes with dual mechanical disc brakes with 140mm rotors both in the front and in the rear, with the right lever activating the front brake and the left lever powering the rear brake. The tires are 10-inch air-filled pneumatic off-road tires with a 3-inch width. And to help out with ride comfort, there's also a dual shock suspension that does a really good job of smoothing out the ride and helping with bump compliance. For safety and increased visibility, there's a headlight, a tail light, a bell, side lights on the deck, and turn signals. And for riding comfort, there's also an adjustable handlebar height. And the scooter is equipped with a key ignition system that helps with security since no one can turn on the scooter without the key. And when you turn it on, the dashboard has a very simple and clean display design that shows your speed, speed mode, battery level, and odometer. On the left side of the handlebars are 2 buttons, with the top button turning on the headlight and tail light, and the bottom button activating the horn. And between the 2 buttons is a turn signal switch to activate the left and right turn signals. The Y600 has a length of 46.4 inches, a wheelbase of about 38 inches, a handlebar height in the lowest position of 38.5 inches, a handlebar height in the highest position in 48.4 inches, a handlebar width of 24.5 inches, a deck length of 22 inches, a deck width of a little bit over 9 inches, deck height from the ground is 9 inches, ground clearance is 6 inches, it weighs in at 58.4 pounds, it has a max payload of 264 pounds, and it all comes in, and I think is a pretty remarkable, $599. So the first test I conducted was an acceleration test, where I wanted to check the acceleration up to 25 miles per hour. And from what I can tell from my testing, there have been no power difference in each speed mode, only speed cutoff. So I only used power level 3. So let's see how it did. Here you go, level 3. We're checking it out, the 0 to 25 mile an hour acceleration time. Ready, and go. Woo. 15, 20, 25. So here's the final results. The Y600 got up to 15 miles per hour in 4.45 seconds, 20 miles per hour in 7.53 seconds, and 25 miles per hour in 13.73 seconds. And I have to say, the acceleration of the scooter really impressed me. It had really good power and very smooth acceleration. Next, I wanted to test out the braking distance for two different speeds, 15 miles per hour and 25 miles per hour. First was 15 to 0, which the Y600 did in a mind-boggling 9 feet. Next was stopping from 25 miles per hour, which the Y600 did in 25.5 feet. So now that I tested the acceleration and braking of the Y600, I want to test out one of the Y600's biggest selling points, and that's the range. So my plan was to start at my house and start riding down towards San Diego, specifically the Spring Valley area, which is about 24 miles. And something to note is that for the range test, I didn't use the scooter's odometer. Instead, I used my Garmin GPS watch so I can ensure accuracy. The Y600 has a claimed range of 43.5 miles in optimal conditions. I weigh about 175 pounds and about 180 when loaded with my camera equipment, and I've never had a scooter meet its advertised range. Typically, I lose about 30 to 40% of range due to the fact that I never ride in the eco mode, and there tends to be a lot of hills in my rides. So I figured that if I can get between 26 and 30 miles, then that'd be a huge win. So for this test, I used mostly speed level 2, with a little bit of speed level 3, and I started heading through the back roads of San Diego with roads that had much smaller shoulders than I would have liked. After about 8 miles, I rode through the heart of the Sequan Band of the Kumeyaay Nation Reservation, which is in the eastern part of San Diego, but it has a casino resort, a golf course, and beautiful views in every direction. After heading down the mountain, I made it to Rancho San Diego, with its lush rolling hills and vibrant landscapes. So after about 24.2 miles of riding, I reached the Spring Valley swap meet, and I still had 1 bar out of 5 of the battery left. I was pretty tired from riding, so I decided that I would finish the testing when I got home. So the next day, I figured that the scooter would only make it about 3 to 4 miles, so I just started riding around my neighborhood. But after 20 minutes, the scooter was still moving, so I kept riding, and riding, and riding. Finally, after an additional 10.22 miles, the scooter finally was at the point where it wouldn't break 8 miles an hour. So even though the scooter was still on, I figured it was basically done, so I ended the test there. So here's the final results. In the first ride I did, the Y600 went 24.22 miles with 774 feet of climbing. And in the second ride, it went 10.22 miles with 486 feet of climbing, with a grand total of 34.44 miles and 1,260 feet of elevation gain. And in all fairness, and to be fully transparent, there was also about 1,700 feet of elevation loss in the testing as well, but I was blown away on how far the scooter went. There's no doubt in my mind, if someone were much lighter than me and they rode in the right conditions, this scooter could actually go the 43.5 miles. So the Engwe Y600 has a nice looking frame design that's made of aluminum, and it feels really well made. My favorite part of its looks though is the addition of the red anodized parts that look awesome. And so far through my extensive testing, the Y600 has held up extremely well to daily use. The 600 watt motor is almost completely silent and it's very smooth and provides really good acceleration. The scooter is able to cruise around about 26 miles an hour pretty easily and is very comfortable, but it starts to run out of steam after that and takes a little longer to get to 28 miles an hour. The scooter is also very smooth, and the suspension does a very good job of smoothing out the ride. The only thing is that since these are off-road tires, you can feel slight vibrations in the knobbies on the paved roads. But I think it's a really good compromise since the tires are heavy duty and they allow you to go off-road when the pavement ends. I weigh about 175 pounds, and the Y600 had no issues getting up to speed and climbing regular hills. Even when going up some of the steeper hills in my neighborhood, I was still able to climb the hills around 23 to 25 miles an hour pretty easily. So overall, I'm blown away by the Engwe Y600 electric scooter. This scooter has a premium feel and ride without a premium price. And as far as I'm aware of, there isn't a scooter at this price point that can compete with the build, motor, and range of this scooter. And I believe that this is one of the highest quality 600R scooters that exists on the market today. It looks good, it's very powerful, has good brakes, has incredible range, and is one of the best scooters that I've ever ridden. So hats off to Engwe for designing a scooter that's affordable without compromising power, range, and quality. But if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one.